Hello and welcome to Industry's Helping Hands. We welcome you to the Talk with Industry Expert session. In this video, we are going to have the conversation with the automobile EV industry expert, Mr. Ashwani Jaiswal sir. He is working from last 27 years in the automobile industry, starting from Ashok Leyland for trucks, then Honda Motors, then Mahindra for two-wheelers. Then he also worked for 2 years in Japan in developing and in the R&D work for the very famous Honda Activa scooters and Honda Shine and Unicorn. Exposure to automobiles from trucks to two-wheelers, from Indian Multinational to Japanese Multinational. Currently, he is working as a Vice President Strategic Sourcing at Okinawa Autotech. So this session is going to be very informative for you. अब आपके दिमाग में ये क्वेश्चन आ रहा होगा कि कैसे? तो इस वीडियो में हमने अश्विनी जायसवाल सर, जिन्हें ऑलरेडी 27 इयर्स का एक्सपीरियंस है ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री पे, हमने उनसे ये जानने की कोशिश की है कि कैसे इंडियन मोबिलिटी सिस्टम पे इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल का नया रिवॉल्यूशन आ रहा है, कैसे कोई एक स्टूडेंट अपने करियर के लिए जॉब रेडी बना सकता है खुद को ईवी इंडस्ट्री में। जब भी कोई नई टेक्नोलॉजी आती है वो साथ ही दरवाजे खोलती है हजारों जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज के लिए भी, लेकिन जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी से पहले इंपॉर्टेंट है आपका नॉलेज और आपका स्किल। तो चलिए इस वीडियो में हम अनलॉक करते हैं इस नॉलेज को, ताकि ये वीडियो आपके लिए एक नॉलेज कैप्सूल की तरह काम कर पाए। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। Hello and welcome to the Industries Expert Virtual Talk Session. Today we are having with us the dynamic veteran of the automobile industry, who is contributing in the automobile industry of our country from last 27 years. Mr. Ashwani Jaiswal sir, currently who is working as a Vice President Strategic Sourcing, Okinawa Autotech. Along with him, we are having in our panel Mr. Ashish Khaduskar, Project Head of EV Course Industries Helping Hands. We are very glad, Ashwani sir, that you have joined today. Thank you so much for joining. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you. Welcome.
So I would like to say to our student community across India, in this virtual expert talk session, we are going to discuss with Ashwani sir regarding how the mobility is transforming with the electric vehicles in India, and especially for our student community, we are also going to discuss with him how a student can become job ready for the EV industry. What are the important skills that students should have to become job ready for the EV industry? So we are going to decode all these things, because for answering all these questions, we are having the very experienced and very knowledgeable Ashwani sir, who is already contributing from last 27 years. So basically, we are going to discuss all these things in a very detailed way. And those who are going to start their career in the EV industry, or who are aspiring to start their career in the EV industry, this session is going to be really very helpful for them. So basically, Ashwani sir, I would like to know from your end, like you have seen the things from the scratch. You are in the automobile industry from a very long time. So I would like to know from you how the electric vehicle is transforming and changing the mobility in India. I would like to know your views, sir.
So, what I feel is next 4 decades will be for the EV vehicle to take complete mobility, and EV will be the main source of mobility. So, what I feel is that anyone who is venturing now in the EV will be the future of all the mobility. So, first we have to understand that what is the benefit of EV compared to gasoline, because once the gasoline was invented, or what you call it, combustion engine, CI engine, or diesel engine. There are 2 engines which we work at present. So, that time we had never thought that fossil fuels will vanish from the earth, because how long we are going to take out these fossil fuels. So now the question comes that we should look for some technology which is not going to hamper the earth, and also our requirements. So what I feel is EV is the future, or any alternate fuel is going to be the future, which is not going to hamper the environment.
Absolutely correct, sir. It's a peak time to think about the environment, about the climate change, and EV is the new revolution. The future is electric. But whenever we are talking about these things, like whenever any new technology comes, it also opens the door for the job opportunities also. But we have found one thing, there is a kind of skill gap, and this gap is absolutely large. The students are not skilled as per the demands of the industry. So basically, sir, I would like to know your views how a student can become job ready for the EV industry, ताकि अगर टीयर 2 एंड टीयर 3 सिटी का कोई स्टूडेंट आज हमारे इस कॉन्वर्सेशन को सुन रहा है तो उसे ये आइडिया हो पाए कि वो किस तरीके से खुद को जॉब रेडी बना सकता है ईवी इंडस्ट्री के लिए. आई वुड लाइक टू नो योर व्यूज ऑन इट, सर.
See, first you have to understand that the source of energy is electricity. So what I feel is uh, whatever we are taught college about the engine, CI engine, or diesel engine or petrol engine, now they have to implement the source of energy is battery. So they have to learn first what is battery, whether it is lead acid or lithium ion or maybe hydrogen cell. So those are the areas where the student should work in. The person should be knowing that what is welding, what is MIG welding, TIG welding, how is the spot welding is done, how is the pressing is done, how is the frame is being, what is the strength, what is strength and what are the load factors. So these are the basics for frame. When I'm talking about tires, you have to know that what is a tire width, what is the load bearing capacity of tires, how tire is made. So these are basically product specific. When I talk about EV, so the parts which is used in EV, that knowledge is required for the person. The person should be working, whether it is tier 1 or tier 2. The suppliers are supplying the parts to EV. Those parts knowledge is very important for entering in the EV. For example, when you talk about quality, the quality basic parameters of quality is that what is CP, how is the process capability has been taken, how is the FME has been done, what is PPAP, what is ISO, what is TS 16949. All these basic knowledge of quality is to be done, which is lacking in industry. When I'm talking about production, they should know what is cycle time, how is uh, and the movement should be there for production, what is the process flow diagram, how is the layout has been made, what is two-bin system, what is just in time, how is the inventory control is done, what is the minimum inventory is to be done, how is the working workforce training, how is to be training has to be done. So these are basically for production. When I talk of PPC, what is the method in which we have to feed the line? So what will be the basically truck movement system? How's the stores moving with the inventory because we don't have the space to keep inventory? How's the packaging is to be done? How is the system is to flow directly to the line? So these are all PPC. When I talk about the marketing, they have to understand the complete marketing scenario. How's the dealers network? How dealer has to be done? How's dealer training has to be done? How's the dealer recruitment has to be done? What is when I talk about finance, you have to understand what is the tax structures, what is the company laws. So all these are basic functions of any industry. And when you talk about EV, particularly in EV, if you work with the automobile plus knowledge of your EV part is required. So that extra knowledge has to be given in the industry.
And sir, as we know that colleges are basically the basic things like they are the nurturing the future workforce. And for the training and placements of the colleges of our country, what
what are your views regarding the curriculum? Because they are creating the future workforce. So, what are the things that they should have to do? What are your suggestions on it, sir?
See, actually, there is a big gap between industry and college because whatever being taught, I always feel that 4 year course, first year is general, we talk about basics. Second year, you start with the engineering part. And third year is specialization. Fourth year is all project. And so, what you have to do is the fourth year should be completely in such a way that you should go for a 6 months training, and the training part should be taken uh, as a marketing because whatever you are getting taught, that is basically a eyewash at in the training. People go and just take the eye certificate and use it as it is. But it is not included, in your curriculum. So what I feel is that basically first you have to understand what industry want. Industry want people who are specialists in these areas. For example, when I talk about welding, they should be knowing what is the welding process, what is the gas flows. So they should be thought about welding. When I'm talking about press, they should know about all the press. So what is the sheet thickness, how planking is done, what is cupping values and all. So all these. So basically, we are not producing specialists. We are producing a general people who go in industry, take 4 5 years, and then in 10 years to understand the industry, and then after 10 years they get to know that okay, I'm working like this, and I got to know that okay, this is the industry. So basically, the curriculum should be made in such a way that the part which is required in industry is to be done. For example, when I joined Ashok Leyland in 1993, so 1 year we've been given training in different areas. Training was there, you understand the shop floor, how it is working. But when you go from each industry, you get to know that, okay, this is the overall industry is working. But when you work as a executive, because as a trainee, I was working in the captain line. So when cabin is made, you know that, okay, you are dealing with the worker, what is the cycle time, what is the way you have to produce, how the assembly is done, how people are working a shift. So that all uh, all things are totally different from where what have been taught. So what I assume is that if you are a specialist in one particular area, industry will be looking more compared to your general one. As a mechanic engineer, you know that okay how mechanics work, but as a specialist for the industry, you have to be very core in this. So core means maybe the fourth year you should use the core people who can add value to the industry. We are just followers. 99% people are followers. Only 1 or 2% people are there who just think out of the box. So we are not teaching the people how to create the new things. They're just following. For example, EV is also one part which is a new creations. Maybe initially people were not thinking about how the EV will work. You know the old lithium, old lead acid batteries. Still, lead acid batteries cannot give you that energy.
Absolutely, sir. I completely agree with you. The hands on training, real time projects, and the practical knowledge is missing among the students. And with industries helping hands, we are trying to bridge this gap so that there is no kind of gap between the industry as well as in the academia. So I would like to know your views on it, sir. Like, what are the skills that a student should have, that a fresher graduate should have, especially the engineers of our country, so that they can prepare accordingly and become EV industry ready? What are the skills they must have, sir? I would like to know a little bit more about it. So kindly explain this to our student community, sir.
First thing is any industry, any person who wants to go in should be knowing that what the EV works, how the EV works, and suppose he's finding it interesting, so he should take out the parts. He should study that EV vehicle. He should try to open and close the vehicle. See that how the EV assembly is done. There are a lot of market. uh, motors are available, they should know that how the motor works, how they can use this motor to create the mechanical energy from electrical energy, how they can make power chain with this, how it can link. So all these things, they first they have to go hands-on experience on this. And if you just teach in the college, it's not going to work. What I always feel that in the college, you open one EV vehicle, you just see that what are the parts are there, and go in the depth. For example, when you open a vehicle, first you open a seat. What is seat? How it is made? What is the seat base? How is the resin? What is the thickness? How it is made? The performance of the seat. Then you go back inside, you see that there is a basic chassis. There's a outside. There's a ABS painting parts are there. So, person who wants to specialized, he should work on a painting process. What is the painting process to be used? Why ABS is used for cover? Why not PP is used? What is the difference between material, PP, ABS, polycarbonate, and how industry is using different types of painting process? How is that stickers used on this painting process? So when you remove that painting process, then there is a basic frame is coming, which is linked with a tire and shocker. So you have to first understand what kind of different types of frames are there, why only this type of frames, why not diamond frame is used, why not different shape of frame is used. Then why the tire size is only 12-inch, 10-inch, why not 16-inch, why not bigger size tires. What is a shocker? What is how shocker works? What is the damping force in this? How many springs are there? What is if we change the oil with the gas? So all these are details. Unless you go in depth of all these parts, you will be working on a superficial method. So like that, you go to the battery. What is the battery made? Why from lead acid to lithium ion people have gone? What is the charging time? Why charging cycle is there? What is the charge discharge? So all these things are there. Why BMS is used in this? What is the BMS? What is the function of BMS? Why we use different gates in this? What is the logic behind the BMS? What is the programming of BMS? Then how many numbers of cells we are using? What is whether it's cylindrical or lithium phosphate is there or this. So all these are very detailed one. How is the cell structures made? What is the series and parallel combination? What is the voltage? What is the combined voltage? What is the packing done? Why packing is done? Why this we avoid movement of cells? So these are all details one. Unless you open these parts and see that what is inside, and then when you ask why, so then only people will understand. I have seen that a lot of people have been forced. Okay, you have to become mechanical engineer, or you have to become somehow you have to go in the industry. Industry is looking for the people who are specialists, something which is out of box. Don't become just mediocre. If you are mediocre, you will end up mediocre. If you are something out of box, think out of box. Why Newton has not eaten the apple, or Einstein has done what is different in this? Why he has did something which is revolutionary there? So that is missing in industry. We are all just creating followers. We're not creating leaders. The day we start producing leaders like in Europe, there's a lot of inventions with that because there are people from the industry, they just venture in this making their own company and starting their own. So once they start hands-on experience of assembly of the vehicle, then they get to know why it has happened. So unless you touch the vehicle, you open the vehicle, you feel the vehicle, you analyze your brain, you torture your brain, then only you'll get to know that okay, what does EV requires a lot of dynamic because all these people who are who are only thinking of old system, then they cannot grow. Those people who are dynamic, who can challenge the beliefs which people are using, then only they can come to me. I don't think that EV is only the end of the vehicle. A lot of new technologies coming. I have seen when I was studying Western Holiday at the engineering book before going to BTech. I get to know that because of magnetic force, you can drive that. To make a magnetic force used to make a motor, which is not taking electricity anywhere, but because of magnetic force, there is a energy is being generated. With energy, you can drive the function. So those are creative things are there. You just make your proto. Ultimately, industry has to work on something new. Old is old. Old is not going to survive for next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Something will come new and everything will change. So people are waiting for those type of people who can change the world, not those of followers. Followers we don't want.
There are lots of followers in the industry right now, and in the student community also.
So basically, sir, a kind of myth that we are whenever we are having a conversation with the students, we are having a kind of myth that we have heard from the students. Like if any EV company is going to hire them, only the mechanical and electrical engineers should got the opportunities for the placement, not about for the computer science. But industry's demand is something different. And right now, software engineers are also equally very important for any kind of industry. So, what are your opinions regarding this myth among the students? Kindly guide up our students.
See, I don't think that only electrical or mechanical engineer is required for this because even if you are a software engineer, there is a lot of software functions there. See, the industry is looking for those people who can use different multifunctions and create something. For example, now a lot of programming is done in the vehicle. You can find coming days there is no driver required in car vehicle like Tesla is done. So what is that? That is a sensing mechanism which is sense and then there is an input current and then programming is done. Because the programming is what? Once you get an input, based on that you get an output. So if you increase the input by adding the sensors in every functions, then you program that okay, if this input is there, so how is the vehicle perform? And based on that input, you make your programming and create output. So this all is to be done with the knowledge of programming. What I feel is any extreme which you are working or any stream which you are working, unless you use or open your mind and there is a sense of learning, then only you can rise or you will just become a follower.
Definitely, sir. Right now, there is a lot of crowd in the following, and only few people are thinking out of the box. I would like to learn from you, sir. Whenever any industry creates any product, there are different domains, like from manufacturing, designing, sales, etc. So, for the student point of view, sir, like for the different streams, for the different domains, what kind of job opportunities they are going to have, and how they have to prepare accordingly for the different kind of domains. So, kindly throw some light on it, sir.
See, coming next 40 years is the future of EV only because everything will convert into electricity. See, electricity is one which can be generated with different sources. So when I talk about the industry requirement, I feel that person with a basic knowledge of mechanical or electrical or automobile should go for certain specialization by either joining industry as a graduate trainee because most of the industry is now looking for in tier one places and tier two places if they go they should join as a trainee. For example, all these ancillaries. I always feel that automobile is the one industry where more than 200, 300 vendors are there. One industry, one company. So when one company is there, and each company will require a lot of manpower for running that. So there is a bright future for this, and the government is also giving a lot of tax benefit for person who's venturing in EV or in component manufacturing sector. So there is a lot of job requirement coming up. With the only difference is what I feel is that you should first understand whether you like EV or not. First, you have to have a hands-on experience. I don't think that in industry at present giving first training to the college people. They are taking a training and then training in, and then after 2 3 years they are coming out of the industry. But the college is not having that environment, or there's no institution available at present in India who trains that the person who has already been taught mechanical, electrical, basically specialization on these. If we have a courses where if you give 6 months or 8 months on hands-on experience on not only the detailed functioning of the parts, especially how is that part is moving or part is working, so that will boom like anything.
Definitely, sir. The future is electric, and
Yes, sir. And apart from all of these technologies, there are one more technology which is evolving with the EVs, that is the charging station.
Yes, charging station is why it is important is because in there's a petrol pump for CI engines where you can fill petrol every 2 kilometers or 5 kilometers. So you just understand that all these petrol pumps will start changing to EVs gradually because at present the EV is growing like anything. So every company is multiplying twofold, threefolds. In every month there is a big demand. So now question people are afraid is that suppose they don't find the charging station in between, so how they are going to run the vehicle. So in coming days, what I feel is there is a huge population required for charging station itself because charging station is going to be the future.
And
right.
with the charging stations, I think there are some jobs which is related to the charging stations also, because Indian government is also investing in many big EV manufacturers are also investing in the charging technology.
Yes, actually, that is a basic requirement of EV vehicle.
Yeah.
Unless there is a vehicle is discharged and then has to be charged at that moment, then only it can take the further driving. So what I feel is that each petrol pump, which is now they'll convert petrol plus the charging station like pan ka dukan or something. So everywhere the charging has to be done. So charging requires a lot of specialized charging system. Maybe like they have to generate the electricity first. Then a lot of requirement for solar will also come. People will use solar, or if they are using the direct electricity, then that is also possible. So there are a lot of avenues available in this area. If one wants to make it a large success, then they have to think of out of box. What I feel is there is if you go to the village area, there are a lot of winds available. So wind force can be used in electricity or solar system, and I find that solar and wind both combined can generate electricity. So people can use a small charging station where they can use wind and solar energy and use it for charging. That is free of cost. In morning they will use a solar, in night they will use a wind. So with this they can at least charge that. So a lot of concepts are there, and I think that is the complete world is going to change coming 2 to 3 years.
Apart from this charging technology, sir, as we are as the government is also working for the charging technologies as well as the corporate is also working for it. I would like to know a job possibility about the OEM sector also, which is also very important and a large part of the market. So regarding the job opportunities in the OEM sector in the upcoming years.
OEMs, there's a lot of opportunity. I understand there are almost 450 EV vehicles manufacturers that is grown up like anything. The person who doesn't have the EV knowledge also they have just gone in EV because they know that tomorrow if the petrol or diesel cost becomes 500 rupees, nobody can afford that. So in that time, everybody is going to look for EV only. So that is only where people will venture, and it will be so fast that within 1 2 years, people will start thinking that why I have delayed. So most of the OEMs are now thinking that let's grab this opportunity. If they delay it, then after 2 3 years there will be no market for them.
And there is one myth also, sir, whenever we are talking to the students, they came to us and said, okay, I have done the course of EV, I have the knowledge, but I'm afraid, like, whether I'm getting the job or not in the EV industry. So what you would like to guide our students, sir, is there any probability, possibility, like how much, like they are having the opportunity to grab in the EV industry regarding the jobs, sir?
See, actually, what I always feel that instead of training them, see, training is always taken from college, and it takes almost 3 years, 2 years with a bond that we train them. But always the industry requires a person who is already experienced because they have to run the line. They have to see that the vehicle is rolling as soon as possible. They cannot just wait for 3 years or 4 years for the people to understand and then learn and then they start giving the product or the result. So EV vehicle is at present there is a dearth of EV people. Every day I float in LinkedIn a lot of requirements in the experience. What I always feel that basic automobile experience is good, but if you have 10 20% EV knowledge, and that is only possible if you have a hands-on experience on doing this. There are two ways. One is that you go in industry and learn. Second thing is you start doing your own. Start your own small workshop or something in your house. See that what is fitment, what is there. Try to open with your wrench. See that vehicle, how it has been assembled, what is the part in this. So that increases the, the the curiosity of knowing that what is vehicle. Then you go and back study that. There's a lot of things written on EV. What is the motors? For example, take about the motor only. What is motor? Just open it. What is BLDC motor? What is the difference between the ordinary motor and this motor? How motor can be further enhanced? So first thing is basically understand what is existing product. When you open it up, then you will understand there's a lot of coils available. What is the function of the coil? Then you start reading it. I always feel that unless you do your reading, industry is not going to take you. You have to have some knowledge of something. Why you industry will take unless you are going to add any value. So very important is that the students should understand that they have to have works on experience. Either they go in an EV workshop, spend 2 3 hours, they go and see that what is the EV vehicle workshop is, how they are doing, what is that. They spend more time in suppliers, for example, motor suppliers. They go and see that how the battery is made, what is the basic. Then they go come back and study that again. So this type of knowledge is very very important. Unless people have got this type of knowledge, nobody in industry is going to take. You have to show something different. If you are different, then only people will take you. Ordinary people are not required.
Definitely, sir, you're absolutely correct. Curiosity and self-learning and knowledge is something that is very important right now for the students. So I would like to know your suggestions and advices, sir. You're having experience of 27 years. What kind of advice you would like to give to the students who are at the young age from 20 to 25 age? So what kind of advices would you like to give to them, sir, so that they can learn something and start their preparation?
First, they have to understand that what is their dream. Everything starts from a dream. If you don't have dream to do something, it's just like waking up, your parents are told to do engineering or something. You're being forced to do marriage. Okay, you're forced to have children. You're forced. Your whole life is gone. First and foremost is take time. Think what you want in your life. If you want to do something great, like Bill Gates and all, so you should be looking in that direction. You have to invest your own time instead of disco and dancing and party. You should be investing time in that because once your passion is created, you will excel in life. I don't find that students are uh, using their dreams. They don't know. If I ask them, what is your dream? What do you want to do? Nobody, 99% people will just take 2 days, 3 days thinking that what I want to do in my life. People are not knowing what is they want to do in life. So my only suggestion is first search yourself what you want. If you like music, you venture in music. Don't go in automotive. If you like EV, you venture in EV like anything. Like a day and night, 24 hours, you have to think about EV only. Then only you can become different. Don't just become a follower. That's my advice.
That's really absolutely very important. Thinking big is something very important, but right now, how to think, what to think, and in which direction we have to think, it's something that is really very important. So, thank you so much, sir, for all your time. Ashish, sir, would you like to conclude anything?
No, sir, I think sir have already covered all of the perspective for a student and for a EV enthusiast, for those who want to become in the EV industry. I think sir have given all of their experience of 25 years and all of the industries inside of it. And I think sir have covered all of the topics. So thank you very much, sir, for your valuable time in your holiday. Is
Okay,
Sunday, so
welcome, welcome. I'll be available if I can guide you students who can excel and can do something great in the life. That will be my achievement.
yeah, yes, sir, definitely, sir. We want such an experienced mentor as well because because you are from the industries inside. So if you are our mentor, then that will be very beneficial for us and the whole student community also. Those who wanted to be a part of a youth.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving your precious time to us. And thank you for this wonderful and very knowledgeable session. I hope the students who are looking at electric vehicle industry as a prospective career path will find this session very helpful. Thank you so much.